All right, so let's keep it rolling. That way we can go with the counter. Are you still good there?
I don't know.
Don't worry, we can readjust. Everybody phone good?
Yeah. About 3%.
You got what?
3%.
Plug in, fool.
I'm just playing.
He ain't playing.
Actually,
where is my
that
charger,
actually
though?
good for you.
Where's my charger?
Your cord?
Cord, yeah.
It's in there.
Oh, it's plugged up to that phone? All right.
I thought G said he was bringing another one.
Got 3.
I don't need it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good there?
Yes, sir.
I'm a worse behavior.
Put on top stuff for now.
All right. Let's clap some.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I can do it one hand.
Yeah.
How?
That's
I don't know about that. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Yo, welcome to the Identity Booth. It's the boy Wonder and Miss Hero. And we got the crew in the building.
Their names were Flash. And that's all you did.
Yeah. What's going on? What we talking about today?
I'm tired, bro.
I know you're tired. You lost a lot of money, and it's okay. Money loss makes every man tired. No, I actually wanted to talk about this Michael Cohen situation. I know we started a little bit earlier about it, but I want to hear your thoughts about it. We haven't talked about anything political.
Snitch bitch. Don't ever do a crime with that.
You know,
Dang.
a lot, Democrats are easily excited. Democrats are easily excited about Republicans who go rogue. There's a saying that I think a Democrat's best friend, besides a donor, is a rogue Republican. And this is a lifetime Trump fan. This is his personal turning flip on him. But he's guilty of one crime that makes anything he says from the day on irrelevant. He was found guilty of lying to Congress. He's a convicted felon of lying. Like that, you could be called liar, liar, pants on fire. And then the thing right above it is being convicted for lying to Congress. So his words are meaningless to me. They'll continue to be meaningless to me. What they are to me is a prop. It'll sound good for somebody, for the Democrats, if a person who hasn't been convicted of lying steps up and says 16% of what he said is true. That 16% is gold. From that day forward, is gold. I don't know if it's just pure incompetence or because Trump is one of those people who legitimately tears important parts out of paper and eats it. But he has nothing on record that makes him look remotely guilty. Dumb? Yes.
Yeah.
Guilty? No. So these words about Trump being a liar, a cheat, a racist, tell me some shit I don't know. This is shit we can find in public records. How he kept 54 people out of their lease in New York because he wanted to upsell it by 4,000%. He's a cheat. Yeah, he has 3 wives, 4 different kids. He's not are we surprised? It is now normal to be abnormal. So I need to hear some things. I mean, does anybody? Michael Cohen's testimony, do you even feel like this is something to be talking about? Like, is this relevant? Should they have had a 7-hour sit-in to see what the fuck he had to say?
In a situation such as politics, which people don't like me in politics because I look at it in a different way because I don't really put much effort into it because I think a lot of stuff is set up in a certain way. The Michael Cohen's, like you just said, everything you said, we already know. But we have to discredit him so we can discredit the other guy. So I got to start from the bottom up. So if I needed to discredit you, I got to discredit Eric first. I got to discredit him. I got to discredit him. I got to discredit everybody around you. So that's the point of the whole situation. Let me find out what you know, and let me discredit you. So now I can go on down the line. Yeah. That's the whole point. They knew everything they were saying. Let me embarrass you. Look like stuff they were telling you're a liar, you're a cheat, you're this, and his head like whatever. That's kind of a fat person, fat fuck. You like, and they're like, okay,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So they only did it so I can start discredit, so I can give them a stronger case to get him out of office. If you really think about it.
This honestly is a waste of time, and I feel like
somebody's phone's
yeah,
will
it's
stop.
probably mine. But
Is it still recording? You want to check?
I doubt it.
Yeah, never
Shut
mind.
down.
Go with it. Who has a perspective?
It's a whole interesting case for me. I don't know. I love the whole aspect of kind of watching the world burn from like this perspective, because it's kind of scary how much we have to kind of deal with. Like, we don't have to like actually do anything about it. I mean, a lot of it's talking about trying to do something bad, but whenever you talk about him being a liar, it's just, I mean, that's you. We gotta hope that someone listens, and then they might be lies, they might be not, but someone's gonna fact check them now. Or someone's gonna get on top of, oh, let's just dissect, there's dissecting every little bit of information that comes out, and they're just trying to find like one thing that sticks. I think that's all this is. They're looking for one thing that they can go, oh shit, that's the one. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. G-Boy?
I mean, my biggest thing now is kind of late. Because honestly, I mean, what do you have left? 7 months? 8 months?
Before he goes to prison? He goes to prison?
Well, no, the next election is 2020, right?
yeah, so November 2020.
Yeah. And
So, I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of like y'all wait till the end of this term to finally actually make a push when we knew all this stuff 3 years ago. So it's like, it's kind of in a way a slap in the face to me, because it's...
Impeachment is one that takes. It's a process anyway. You know, like it goes a long process. So this probably where it feels like, okay, we have enough evidence to go for what we want to go for. But it's still a long process. Who's been impeached? Haven't we?
Nixon
was impeached, but how long did that take? We go back and do history.
That's 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years for the case to close. 2 years to initiate an investigation.
They started trying to do that with Clinton.
Yeah.
So
But I mean-
when he got his dick sucked. So a lot by a prostitute, and he's probably in Vegas when he met her. So what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like all of, that's the politic world. We had that conversation. It's just a big game. Everything is a big game, and we take so much time away. Like Cohen, all that time we spend on him, and look at all the stuff that we have going on in the world every day.
This is a very good point, which leads me to my second point. As big as the world is now, America's on another stage. We just had the second meeting with a dictator who is notoriously known for starving his own people. And our president is there dealing with that, simultaneously going to war with our neighboring countries via Mexico about a border wall. The vote goes out next week about the Emergency Act in court. But if Congress can vote against it unanimously, they'll lose. And some of the hardcore Republicans are falling out. Rand Paul came out today, said he's not voting for the emergency funds for the wall. We're talking about a fund that started at $5 billion, and is now
1.3 something
trillion. Like, he's exploded. Like,
the GoFundMe that they had up for that thing raised an astronomical amount.
and I'm so happy GoFundMe shut that down. So now that we know Republicans are backing off this Trump train, what other weaknesses do you see with this president for this country? Because North Carolina, they're gonna have no representation, because the only version of voter fraud that took place during the 2016 to 2018 happened at a Republican site. They're losing their credibility trying to remain radical. The fine line is that no matter where you stand on the field, Eric is moderate right, moderate left. You guys have your own positions in this position, but it's very clear that we all need to start looking across the aisle for information, because we have a situation where we're about to put $1 trillion into a wall. Your thoughts?
I had a friend of mine, he's from Mexico. He said, Eric, the thing about Mexicans is we're better at building tunnels than we are building walls. He said, so we can put a wall up all we want to, we'll just dig under it. He said, think about the people there, they're so desperate that they'll do anything. I mean, you see all these.
Yeah.
I mean, from our line of work, how many times I've been in El Paso, and when you get there's a bridge in El Paso that takes you right into Mexico, and halfway on the bridge, 911 works. So what they do is they bring all their pregnant women, sick kids. I'm seeing homicides. They put them in the back of a truck, bring them to the bridge, dump the body on the American side of the bridge, call 911, and then drive back on the other side, wait for the ambulance to pick them up. before they go back, because they know we have to take care of them. It happens. Hundreds of these things happen all the time. Like these, there's no way that we can ward off that. It's just not gonna happen.
And just to tidbit on that, America's role in the world has definitely shrunk since Trump has gotten in office. We used to be the providers of self-sustaining energy for yourself. We no longer do that. Venezuela is on the brink of destruction as we know it. So, just adding to that tidbit, do you feel like America's no longer the powerhouse they say they are?
Oh, for sure. That's 100% facts. I mean, the rest of the world is caught up, and the only thing that America exports is its culture, which is entertainment, basically. Reality TV, clothes, a bunch of makeup, sex, sports. I mean, what else do we really truly export that's of any real value? I mean, we don't actually make anything. We consume everything. We consume everything. We get most of our food shipped here, most of our clothes shipped here. We consume everything and really we don't give the world anything back except a bunch of bullshit. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, who's really getting edified watching Real Housewives of Atlanta? I mean,
My girlfriend watches that show. It's pretty interesting. I hate it, but
yes, exactly.
one of the things that I don't know, it's not like a love-hate, but I do love it. Like, I'm so glad this happened. I'm so glad that Trump became president. In my opinion, just because
for sure.
like it's such a. It was so. I think it's eye-opening for everybody, and that's why I think it's such a good. Like, I almost be like, oh man, vote for Trump. That sounded great. You know, if I could see how this turned out, because you know, it's almost like you got someone that you kind of watching the world burn a little bit, and like all of us have to either learn more now or like see more about how this whole process works because of this. And I think the man's a genius, which is the craziest thing, just because he's just like he's outsmarted all of us. Like that's the crazy. Like he's outsmarted every single person. I actually admire that a little bit.
It's real. He made everybody play his game, and they got suckered into it, and they lost.
He changed 400-year-old tradition in 2 years.
And it's just, I don't know, it's amazing to see how many people are more involved now because of it. Like, you needed something, and I mean, honestly, gosh, this makes me sound bad, but I don't think I didn't really want Hillary Clinton. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of people.
No, for sure. I didn't vote for her.
Definitely not have like that's not the first woman president that I would have wanted, or like just from like my like history and like what I know about Hillary Clinton and how much I've read up about her, but whenever I was doing journalism. But like all of this it's so exciting to see, like this huge transition into what we might be in the future because of this person. I think that's the best thing to come out of this. And I mean, there's still strong supporters on both sides. I think some people see that to where it could be an advantage or disadvantage for their party, and just being able to experience something like this is so cool. Just being able to see like the outcome of what one person can do, like for the entire U.S., good and bad.
And then I'm a cheerleader for foolishness. So obviously everything he does or that he says is so not political. It's like we're getting not the normal. When it comes to a campaign or a person saying the stuff that he say, like
it's like Child's like, hey, we need to worry about the environment. You're fat. Like that's his play.
Like he's really the true first black president. He do, excuse me, nigga shit. Like he do shit that you be like, okay, he's like, he got into it with his wife on television. Like, what you say? Like he's that type of person. Like he's himself. It's like I'm not going to consider and act like. I'm someone else. That's the one thing I do. Like everything he does.
What you see,
outside of this is who I am. I'm ignorant. I'm crazy. Yeah, I might be a little racist, but hey, this is what I get. And that's the thing about politics. We put on this blackface. Once you come in, once you see this person. That's what every politician does until we go start digging in and found out they was in Vegas buying hookers or something in '94 or something. And then prostitutes.
That's been the thing.
Or call girls or whatever you want. And then now the prostitutes, the escorts. You figure out their past, and now they want to act a certain way. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. We've all done things right now that we wish that we didn't do back in the past. With him, he doesn't care. grab her by the pussy. That's locker room talk. Or he doesn't have a problem with you knowing it, and he still got in office. So as far as the Democrats, like he just said something else. It is making us see, hold on, how the hell did he get in office when he didn't have the popular vote, he didn't have this, but he still made it?
Because he didn't pretend. Everybody, the thing about Hillary is, Hillary pretends. And she pretends not to be racist when we know she is. We know what she thinks about people who look like us.
We all are racist in our own way.
Yeah, and
every
I'm not going to
single person has things about people that they don't like.
Yeah.
Everybody has things about certain people that they don't like. And I'm racist against black people in certain ways. I'm racist against this. We all have our own things. So when we talk about racism, we talk about this, you have to look at what's best for America, what's best for the country. What's best for the country will never truly happen because the way our justice system is. Let's really talk about the justice system. We worry about what goes on overseas more than what about here.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, that hit tough right there. That we worry about what's going on somewhere else rather than what's going on in your own front and backyard. Like that's your domain. United States is our domain, but we want to send all kind of stuff everywhere else, like to help other people. Like we need to, the focus needs to be here so we can establish ourselves to be able to put in a position to help everybody else. It starts in your front yard. It starts at your home.
Look at the debt we have. Look at all this stuff. Even the way our education system is set up here. We don't worry. We put so much emphasis on the next person or what they're doing. Like my sister's overseas in Taiwan right now, and she goes to her school is not even a fourth of a fraction of what we pay here. How much when you went to college? How much y'all guys? If y'all had to, I don't know if y'all was scholarships. Everybody,
It's like 20,000.
20,000.
That's crazy. Gee, you out of all of us probably have well, you also have 2 children, right? Yeah. So you have 2 children going into this world that we're trying to create. Do you feel that there's a necessary danger on the outside world that warrants a $1 trillion wall?
I mean, as far as the wall, the wall is pointless. I don't feel a threat from the wall or those people because, I've had nothing but positive experiences from this because I'm all right. Yeah. I got forced to work on a tomato farm, and all I did was
sounds like slavery. Get in there.
To court.
Wait, hold on. You're about to gloss over the best
Well, anyway, I worked on a tomato farm. All I did was pack, but just packing and watching those guys get out there and work and actually pick and understand how hard they work. And seeing how they work together. Because, a lot of those people that did that, they all lived in maybe a 2-3 bedroom house, and it's like 6 or 7 families. You see them come to Walmart. You see them load up 9-10 carts full of crap. They all pile in the van with their stuff. But, if any of them need anything or you were close to them, you need anything, they were there for you.
But that's all other.
It's all other elements, but that kind of piggybacks to what we were talking about reality TV. You are what you eat. And we push so much junk like that to our people and people around us that's what you think is socially acceptable, how you're supposed to treat people. That's one thing I've enjoyed about this trip, just the perspective of seeing, coming from I'm small town. So I know everybody here. Everybody knows me. They can call me by first name if I did something this side of town. By the time I got home, I'll get my ass tore because they already know about it.
Exactly.
But coming here, speaking to somebody saying, hey, they kind of frown. It threw me off because that's just the way I'm cordial with people. I believe that you should. I don't care if I don't know nothing about you. The love I want to receive, I have to give to get it.
Exactly.
Preach.
So that's one thing I think is a lost art in this world. We don't know how to love other people. It's all money, money, money. I got to get it, screw everybody else, kick everybody else down instead of finding a way for everybody to uplift everybody and everybody have anything they want.
And that's a great point to also transition to. You guys are great with these transitions. You guys good.
Wait. I'm excited. I don't want to transition. Just because there was one thing I saw that I didn't know about. So on Reddit, there was like a Ask Reddit thing, and it talked about like what's weird about Americans, or like what's something that you didn't know, or like something that was weird. And one of the things was like we all say hi to each other. Like if you make eye contact, most of the time there's a little smile or like a nod or something. And then they talked about like I think in the UK or in London, don't make eye contact with people. Everyone's solitary. Like, everyone wants to be by themselves, but I don't know. Anytime I look at someone or you go a little smile, you go, oh, hey, everyone always does that back. I mean, most of the time, I've never like run into someone that goes, oh, some bitch, be looking at me like that. But I don't know. I think we're all pretty kind, or at least we're all cordial. Yeah. Or pretend to be. That's a good one. But like, even if you pretend to be, or even if you're pretending to smile,
it's just a social grace.
One of these. Hey, what's up, pal? What's up, bucko?
But one thing, controversy and war makes money. So when you really look at a lot of stuff, like as we talk about why happiness and all that, world peace, how much money would they really make?
The world peace has already been sustained, that we know that money can be made. We have demonstrations of this. We have whole continents dedicated to this. There's a rifle war out for everything. Before the 3 tribal wars in 1960 in Europe, they were fighting over water. We're talking about a natural resource.
They fall from the skies.
There were some tough times, but not enough to kill off a whole entire generation of people. Because the water was there the next day. Find a way. Violence has never been the purpose way, but we continue to, once again, let people push that violence to us. But there's other things that people pushing towards us. Since you stole my last one, which I think. This one is major, but our last topic is going to be about in the medical field. So it just came out now recently that 4 major platforms, YouTube. Go ahead and silence that or whatever you gotta do. Or
it's one time out.
Okay. We just found out that 3 major websites are going to now start banning talk about anti-vaxxers. YouTube, Facebook, and Google will now be minimizing ads played on anti-vaxxer videos, and you can just all go around the room and talk about it. But full disclosure, I am in the healthcare business. I'm in the business of the dead. I don't know if that should matter, seeing as how people are dead, but now I work as a pulmonary specialist. Once again, not in my expertise, but full disclosure, go vaccinate your kids, you fucking assholes.
And I'm going to say don't vaccinate your kids.
So we have our lines. Now we describe the reasons why.
Wait 1 second before we start. I'm raising my hand like an idiot. What did he say his job was? He works in death? You start with that most time? Like, what do you do?
Would you hear me say, I'm the guy who comes to get your organs when you can't, when your body doesn't work anymore.
I'm in the death business. What would it? What's your description?
More tissue.
Death. Oh, all right. Oh, we go.
What do you do for a living? Embalming fluid.
Wow.
I'm clapping on 3. 1, 2, 3. So, the anti-vaxxer movement, for me, comes down the line of what we know. And what we do know is that we're good as Americans at destroying things. This reigns true. And that goes for people all the way down to microorganisms. We have found a way to eliminate measles, West Niles, any disease that's ever reached us. We've found a way to minimize it and control it. We were so good at this job, we now have a situation where these diseases are coming back. Why? Because people refuse to vaccinate. Now, there's hundreds of articles disproving any version of debunction that you could think of, but it still propagates, mostly through famous people, and ironically, people who are vaccinated are talking about anti-vaccination. They are saying, don't get vaccinated as they are vaccinated. That is...
Because most of the times those people are forced to get vaccinations.
No one has ever been forced.
Well, kids
cannot go to school if they don't get vaccinated.
Can't say you can't go somewhere. No, not even that. Just because I say you don't have your shots doesn't mean that you have to get the shot. That just means you can't be educated.
No, so why should a person who pays into a tax system be subjugated to getting vaccinated so that they can attend school?
Infecting the population is
infecting them with what?
Infecting them with measles as
they'd have to carry it and have no antibodies in their system.
We have a prime, so we're clear. We are clear that we have something going on in Washington. Do you know how many people are infected and how many have died?
Nope.
80 infected, 35 dead.
That's not anything to jump on. book about.
I mean, we're talking about.
It's like saying.
But we're talking about these people. We are talking about a disease that hasn't killed anybody in almost 40 decades.
So let's talk about
When we say something to jump at, like those numbers are still. That's just like mass. It's like, all right, someone died, 30 people died. Well, that's still a small number, but it's still big.
That's a big deal. Just because you're desensitized to it doesn't mean that it isn't relevant. Because those are 35 people that will never come back. They have families. Let's be respectful of that at least.
Were those people who died vaccinated? Do we know that they were?
They weren't vaccinated.
They were never vaccinated.
They weren't
Were
vaccinated.
they children or adults?
Can't quote me on the swing. I think 12 of them were teens seeking to be vaccinated. This is something that is happening now. We have kids who are 15 going to judges asking for the judge to allow them to be vaccinated without their parents' permission because they have read up enough information, 15-year-olds, that they want to get vaccinated. Just tell the people why you don't believe in the vaccination movement.
I don't think we should force kids to get vaccinated. That's my personal feeling. I don't have honestly, I have no science. It's just purely opinion. I don't want to.
And I can respect that and listen, this is something I can't argue with. He has admitted that if the science is there, he agrees to it, but he just doesn't want to do it. That can be your argument, and you can have it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it, but you can't use an argument that's already been debunked.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean...
let's say something based on... Wait, what?
His argument is based on his own personal preference.
He just doesn't want it.
He just doesn't want it. He believes in the science. He won't argue the science. He just doesn't want it.
When you... Speaking of vaccination, so when I got vaccinated, you gotta think about it. Most people, when the doctor tell you do this, you're gonna do it. So probably when you was younger, I was younger. My mom said, "Hey, this first thing you gotta do, you come out. I'm gonna give him this shot. Then I go to the doctor at 6 months. I get another shot. I go to the doctor." So that we don't really think about what we're getting. So I guess that's what he looked at me in. Because I just took my 2-year-old when we looked at the shot, and I just asked her, "Well, let me read the bottle, just so I can see what's on it. Let's talk about it." So me and that doctor had a conversation, and I asked him the same question. Why do people keep saying not vaccinated? So he broke down, this is why I feel like you should understand these things. Basically what you said, if you do not get vaccinated, you're prone to this, that, and the third. Just like if you don't use a condom, you can catch a disease, get a girl pregnant or this. So that's why vaccination is so critical. Like you just said, people, measles, mumps, just so much things, hepatitis, all those things you can catch by not being
cured for hepatitis C.
Well, yeah, cure for it, but I want to have to have it. You know, if I can prevent it,
prevention.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have it. I guess that's why I look at vaccinations. When I was reading a story where a guy was on the Breakfast Club talking about don't vaccinate because you do it. Vaccination giving African Americans
234%, which has been disproven. This is by Michael Brown Johnson.
Yes.
But basically, and this is the rhetoric we talk about. We can't allow these people to speak freely because there are demographic of people who don't have the access to this knowledge to be able to look it up. Like, they don't understand the concept. These are headline readers that they are talking to. So that is a great point. But Jake, your thoughts?
My sister is also in the medical field, and I pretty much, I get it. She deals with life. She's not. But what are the doctors that deal with the babies? OBGYN?
Mm-hmm.
Her and her pediatrician, one of those guys.
That's gynecologist, right?
I thought he said no. OBGYN, yeah, I guess
OBGYN counts.
Yeah, counts. But
she's a what? What does she do?
She's a
chiropractor. Does she pull them out, or does she take?
She's a chiropractor.
She's a cat.
She's a DC.
Okay.
DC.
Okay.
So she's read up and does a lot of stuff that in the medical field. She's also a nutritionist. Okay. So she and her doctor actually got into a debate because they wanted to vaccinate my nephew at 3 years old for hepatitis, one of those hepatitis shots. And she's like, why would I give my baby a hepatitis shot? And because they don't know what he's allergic to as well. Mm-hmm. Like when he was a baby, he was nonstop crying and they couldn't figure out why. Come to find out, my sister, she took out dairy from her diet. He was allergic to dairy. She was getting the milk from my sister and he come to find out he's allergic to dairy. Mm-hmm. Child that can't cry, or all he can do is cry, they don't know really what's going on internally because they can't say, "Oh, my ribs hurt or my stomach hurts." It's just It's like what is it? What is it? You're looking at them and you don't know. So that's why my opinion is I don't think vaccinations can and can't be great, can be good at the same time because like me personally, I don't take medicines, but I have been vaccinated. I've had the chickenpox one time, and that's usually the limit unless you can get it from someone else. But I just don't like the way that medicines are changing because you don't know what's in that bottle.
Yeah,
And
you do.
To an extent.
No, you do.
To an extent.
You can go to the FDA website and they can tell you all the way down to the fracture rapport of the chemical breakdown.
And the FDA also does not have to disclose everything that's in it.
That is what we pay them to do.
But there's hundreds of American companies that don't have to disclose information on it.
And you name 3 right now.
Okay. I'll just use
Fila, Nike, Fubu.
They also The reason why I contest this so tough is because it's an outright another one of those propaganda lines. Yeah, I'll use your own example. Nike doesn't disclose. Why? Because they use a loophole that lets them make their stuff in other countries where the laws are lax. That's why you can get a 3-year-old making my flip-flops right now.
Okay. Now I'm just all right. Hold on. All right. I don't know where that analogy was going, but I'm all right. So I thought we were about to name off like companies that deal in pharmaceuticals or medicine or like
that was the initial.
Right. That's what I thought too. Yeah, but I understand now. This is all kind of it's all kind of weird to me because. It kind of goes back to the whole Trump thing where we're all just fucking paranoid about something. Like, we're going to find a reason that something isn't right. Like we can look at it and go, you know what? I've been lied to about something like this before, so I'm going to go ahead and go into these scare tactics of a very small group that is saying this can harm you or this can happen. Then if we go look it up, we say, oh, well, shit, none of that's right. Or we look at these statistics that say there's a 75% chance this can happen, but it was like 6 people. Or like the study group was like really small to where this happened. But then like whenever we look at it and we see that shit's kind of falling apart a little bit about where, like, if I don't get these, what can happen to me? And then these people are getting these things that, you know, we haven't been getting in a while. Or like just thinking whenever Ebola happened, we cut that shit out real tight. Like it was in Texas. Like we said, there's this, and then we'll stop it. We'll get all this. We'll quarantine everybody and we were all fucking terrified of Ebola
for sure
in Texas. And if we knew that we would be safe, we're like, oh, okay, here's something that we don't have a vaccine for. It would be I don't fucking know. I mean, all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know about all this. But if there was something that would stop this, we would take it in a heartbeat. Or if we looked on paper. To where this goes, like you can die. Like, either you have a 90% chance to die, or you got a 40% chance to die if you take the shot. Oh shit, I'm taking that shot. Only like, cause like I know that I like those odds, or I like that percentage of, you know what. And then when you're a parent, I can understand a little bit, or I might not understand it all, but I think about it a lot. When I become a dad, I want to be able to do the best for my kid. Or I want to like look at my kid and say, I want you to have everything that you got. And I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And if I have to vaccinate my kid and that there's a better chance for that, absolutely I'm going to do it.
Yes.
And
you said something great yesterday. What was that quote you gave me? About it?
Oh, it was the... shit, what did I say?
I would much rather have a vaccinated child than a dead child.
No, it was the... All right, we're all worried about autism. Or a lot of people are worried about autism. But yeah, would you rather have a dead kid or an autistic kid? Or like it just shows how much people... Well, how much people don't like autistic people, or they don't want their kid to be autistic, because that's a scary thought. Because whenever you have a child that has a mental handicap, that's a lot more work. It's a lot more stress. Like that's your whole life caring for your child, and like whenever people think of that,
and that's where I think it comes from. This burden of proof is that you don't want to have, because struggle, whether we like it or not, is something you can pass on to your kids. It is something, your poor decisions today can have huge ramifications for your kids in the future without anything to do with your health. Your ability to save for them, your ability to prepare them for the world they're going to walk into speaks magnitudes and volumes. But I feel honestly, because people have struggled for so long, when they get into this world of like, oh my goodness, what if I have to keep struggling after I made it? Just because I decided to push my line and my lineage down. Subconsciously, I don't think anyone has consciously said, fuck these kids. Like, no, you love your kids, they're yours. We have some monsters in the world, obviously. But, I mean, gee, you as a...
We
got monsters. Gee, you
Speaking of monsters.
Man.
King, I love your kids.
I don't give a fuck about that.
How many times have we been playing Call of Duty or playing something and here comes Phoenix or Melody saying something outrageous in the background?
G, you still there? You still there?
So, I mean, I won't go personal, but how do you feel about vaccinations? Like,
I mean, I feel I can't put it into a box because I kind of straddle the fence with it because I understand why people are scared of it because it's kind of like you said. People push the image out there that it's directly correlated with autism from getting those vaccinations. That's the biggest one they push for the most part. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, to me, it's like I don't understand how me getting a shot, well, I ain't gonna say how me getting a shot because I'm vaccinated, but how you have a virus that's been virtually gone for 4 decades. Comes back out, I mean, it's like almost as if it's a phoenix that rolls out of ashes. It's like, why and how does that constantly happen with stuff that we hadn't dealt with in years? And I know it could partially be because you have immigration, you have people that come over here that carry it, and it's a different mutation from what you're vaccinated from, and it brings it back. But it's just...
And that's a great point because this first case, they believe that transmit was from Toronto. So this was a person who crossed over to the border and transmitted.
Weren't you just in Toronto?
But he got his shots.
Are you ground zero? Ground zero.
But shit. I guess if we were gonna at least put into closing, we can all this is me to the viewers because once again, regardless of my feelings on the situation, there are very smarter people in the world who have already solved this for us. We can all agree that this is not anti-vaccination is a personal decision. There's nothing scientific backing those decisions. Here, at least at the Identity Booth, we advise you to seek further education on it, preferably from your primary care physician. And also, just understand your struggle. Understand who you struggle with. These people have no struggle with me. So I can talk real to them. Find you someone that you struggle with so they can tell you some real shit. If you, seriously, because your child, any future kids, if they ever come to me and you've hit a situation where you have a tough question, there's a good friend of mine who's watching this. He's a fan of the podcast. He recently had a child. His biggest concern was that they had a friend of a friend had a baby who just sudden death 3 weeks in. This is a normal occurrence, almost 15%.
Yeah.
Terrified, but it was 3 days after getting the shots. Mm-hmm. Made him nervous. I said, rightfully so, but we also know that this child wasn't proven at factory. It's not like it had a label and a number. Mm-hmm. This was a child that had to develop. It wasn't ready, or it just wasn't meant to survive. These are things that happen. It can happen 3 weeks in or after birth. But I told him, take them one at a time if you want to. Take them separately, whatever. But once again, I'm your friend. I'm only going to tell you the realest thing I can find. And I'm just happy that we were able to have a civil conversation without coming to blows or terms. So I really appreciate you guys, opening up, being personal and true, telling your stories to the best of your ability. Are we good?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy to find that, later on, We've just been getting fucked by vaccinations.
I mean, it won't be the first time.
You know, like how would you ready to go? Oh shit, man, wrong.
Hey, it's not the first time I've been wrong on this fucking podcast, but shit, where can they find us, Eric?
Everywhere but Spotify. I will try Facebook first. Facebook's probably the best place to
Follow the group.
What's the podcast called?
What is it? G, I was gonna ask G. G was the one struggling with it earlier. Come on.
The identity.
The identity.
The identity.
The identity.
Identity.
But where else? What? We on Instagram?
On Instagram, Facebook.
Do we have a Twitter yet?
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Twitter. Player FM.
That's true.
Last
man.
FM, Google Play.
Apple iTunes.
We are on iTunes. We're on Amazon, but Amazon's
Does Amazon have?
they haven't done podcast in there.
They don't have a podcast one.
Not yet.
So when they do, hey Bezos, look us up, bro.
Man, you know, man. You go podcasting. Flip the page.
Either that or he'll start.
He's coming to my neighborhood, so he will be living in my area. So pretty soon I'll pick him up. But we appreciate you guys identifying with us as we continue to identify with you. We gotta go see Circus Olay.
Yeah, we do.
We don't. It's early.
I was trying to set up the.
But we have to eat dinner.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we haven't eaten. So we appreciate you guys coming through. Thanks for being first. This is ruining shit for me, man.
I didn't know it. Magic.
Just ate 5 minutes ago.
I'll see y'all guys later, man. Take care of yourselves. It's been a blast. Appreciate y'all. Golly.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh no.
I just knew that I was going to go into an FDA GMO spin. So